Okay, we're going to have another video talking about is it beneficial to reload for surplus guns, either your rifles or your pistols. Will it save you money? But first of all, if you would please, hit the like button and subscribe if you like this content. So what happened is a few weeks ago I made a video talking about, hey, you know, you got surplus rifles, a lot of these calibers are kind of obsolete, getting hard to find. You're not finding large quantities of inexpensive surplus ammo anymore, much like for the 8mm, the 303 British. And you know, commercially produced ammunition is, actually quite expensive. So I brought up the thing of, would it be beneficial to you to start reloading or think about starting to reload? For those of you who don't, there's a lot of avid shooters that have been into reloading for years, but a lot of the younger people involved in this hobby may not get into reloading. And that's another tricky business. During the panics and crisis, people were buying up reloading equipment and scalping the prices. So the question is, can you save money reloading? And when I brought that up a couple weeks ago, things have changed. I want to make other videos about the other areas, but it seems that it may not. What's right here in front of you? These 2, 3, 4 items here. I'm not going to talk about this one. This is about, and this is current, this is stuff I bought the past few months. You're looking at $1,200 worth of gunpowder. Okay, this one here come out to about $430 in that, and then this last one I got with shipping, handling, hazmat fees is about $5. Okay, and then this here was close to $3 with shipping, handling, hazmat, and sales tax. Now, in the past, when I used to compete and shoot and get 8-pound kegs of shotgun powder, because I was, shooting thousands of rounds in competition, it would behoove me to order 2, sometimes one time I got 4 kegs of powder, and they were only 100 and some a piece. And when you divide each item with the hazmat and the shipping in that, it come out to, a good deal. All right. Now you get charged sales tax, and several people have complained to me and how it works with internet sales tax. Like in my state, you can live in a county where the county sales tax is 1%, but when you buy something on the internet, they're going to charge you the whole state percentage, which my state is like 7.5%. Okay, but one guy said, well, I live in a county where it's only 7.2 or something, 7%, not 7.8 or something was what they charge, 7.5, 7.8. It don't matter. They're going to charge you however they calculate it. And I think Texas, I've sold some things to people down there on Gunbroker, and they charge like 10 point something percent sales tax in some states. It's ungodly. Now, let me bring up a point. Going back 1.5 years ago, about that. That's where I got this jug. And this thing at the time, okay, going back so many years, this would be 130 or 145 or something. I remember getting in a hurry and buying these for a little under, it was a little under 3C. It was 2 something, even with the shipping and everything. I ended up getting them just under. And then everyone's talking, well, there's going to be in January the yearly increases and everything. And that's not talking about tariffs or anything else. It's talking about yearly increases. By the end of February, the same thing would have cost me over $4. Another $40, $50. So that's normal. A lot of people freaking out over the tariffs because this powder here, any of the reloader powders, they're not made in the U.S., but they're marketed by a U.S. company. IMR, made in Canada. Not only are we in a trade war with Canada, but there's all kinds of political tension and the whole 9 yards. And IMR powders, you can't get them, or some powders. There are some powders that you look for, and you cannot find them for years on end anywhere. Maybe if you're lucky, in a local shop will get, like 2 pounds of this or something, and you see it, and irregardless of the price, you grab it. But powder is coming out in the 8-pound jugs, shipping, sales tax, and that, to $60 a pound. Now, if you go and pay retail for a 1-pound jug, I calculated it at $60 for 1 pound. Shipping and handling, hazmat, and sales tax, you end up paying $85 for 1 pound. That's why I bought 4 when they were on sale or something. So, with that in mind, and also primers have not come down. They're at about $80 a thou. And with the shipping, hazmat, and everything else, sales tax, you're still looking at 10 to maybe even 12 cents a primer. So does it count to reload? Well, I did some quick numbers. I can buy, and we'll use 7.62 by 51 or 7.62 NATO, okay? You can get Ingman ammo if you buy a 1,000 round case. And I calculated it with sales tax and everything for about 80 cents a round. Okay? That's what it would cost me to get delivered to my front door, 1,000 rounds of that ammo. Now, calculating reloading the same cartridge with the ammo in front of me that I just bought, and like I said, looking at we'll be liberal and say 10 cents for a primer, and a powder at $60 a pound, it comes out, and that's without the brass. That is not calculating brass, that is using once fired brass. It comes out to 77 cents a round. So you're not really saving any money. Okay, and if you're new to reloading and you don't have the equipment, you're going to have to buy a few $100s worth of equipment, the press, the dies, the scales, the powder measure, everything else, to get yourself up, and then you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to do research. You're going to have to look and all this other stuff. And some people, I understand, just don't want to be bothered. They'd rather go and buy, like 40, 60 rounds of ammo, go shoot their gun a little bit, call it a day. Now that 80 cents a round kind of translates if you go to the store, buy retail and just buy 1 box at a time. Most military cartridges are now up to about $1.25, if not more, because just looking at what they're listed for online is just the price, shipping and sales tax. And locally, you're going to have to pay sales tax. And I found that what I find online, that if I bought a couple hundred rounds of something, okay, per box and that, the cost is less than going to the local big box store. And, say you're looking at, like I said, 80 cents. So you're looking at 19, 20 at some places. If you're buying quantity, you go to the big box store, you're paying 25, then sales tax. So It depends how you look at it, okay? Where you will make out is with some odd calibers, like 7.7 Jap, 6.5 Japanese, and Carcano. Those are going for close to $2 a round, if not more. So that's where you're kind of saving yourself some money. But a word of advice, even if you're not going to get into reloading, say you go and buy a box of PPU ammo for whatever caliber, like 7.5 French or 8mm Lebel or 303 British Nat. PPU still is somewhat reasonable, but prices are going up, I warn you. So you don't want to reload. You get a box of shells, you fire a couple of them, and they're reloadable brass. This is still valuable. I strongly suggest that if you get reloadable brass, figure out what it is, especially if you're buying a commercially made ammo like from Yoshi or any of the other European makers. Keep your brass. You can either trade it, you can sell it on the gun broker, or you can save it, and in the future, if things get out of control or get better or whatever, or it comes down to where you know the cost has gone up so high that reloading will save you money, then you have an ample amount of brass, okay? And that will help defer the cost. But as of now, things are bad. And where it's going to go, I have absolutely no idea. But I'll make a few other videos on it. But it's something to think about. And I had to make this video to change my last commentary on this subject. Alright, thank you.